Hi everyone. In this video, we are going to learn about the income elasticity of demand, cross elasticity of demand, and advertising or promotional elasticity of demand. So first, we'll go with income elasticity of demand. See, in my previous session, I have already told you about the price elasticity of demand. Price elasticity is a percentage change in quantity demanded with respect to the percentage change in price. So in the same way, income elasticity of demand is also defined as the ratio between the percentage change in quantity demanded by percentage change in income. So this income elasticity is denoted with EM or EY. This is or, not by. EM or EY is equals to percentage change in quantity demanded by percentage change in income. How can we write this? Percentage change in quantity demanded is denoted by delta Q by Q by percentage change in income is denoted as delta Y by Y. So in the same simplification, we will get like this: delta Q by delta Y into Y by Q, where EY is income elasticity of demand, delta Q is the change in the quantity demanded, delta Y is change in income, Y is initial income, Q is initial quantity. So again, in the same way as similar to price elasticity of demand, income elasticity of demand is also of 5 types. So one is unitary income elasticity greater than unity, income elasticity less than unity, zero income elasticity, and negative income elasticity. So unlike this price elasticity of demand, here income elasticity of demand, in here we have shown all the graphs in one stage only. See here, see. First one, see this 45 degrees angle graph. Here EY is equals to 1. When EY is equals to 1, then it is called as unitary income elasticity of demand. So I have already told you, unit means what? What percentage of income changes, equally that percentage of quantity demanded will get changes. Here, that is, when the percentage change in demand is equals to the percentage change in the income, then it is called as unitary income elasticity. The graph is a upward sloping curve. See here, upward slope curve represented with D1 here. So generally EY, this income elasticity of demand is positive for all the normal goods. So second one is income elasticity greater than unity. See, the graph is denoted with line D2. Here D2 represents the income elasticity greater than unity. That is, whenever the percentage change in quantity demanded is greater than percentage change in income, that is quantity demanded delta Q by Q is more when compared to delta Y by Y, then it is called as income elasticity greater than unity. That is, EY is greater than 1. That is denoted with D2. That is generally the demand curve will be a flattered one here. This is represented as this is represented with the T2. That is generally products like luxury goods like cars. All these have this elasticity of demand. Third one is income elasticity less than unity. Less than unity. See the D3 curve. See the D3 curve here. D3 curve, where this D3 curve, the percentage change in quantity demanded is less than the percentage change in income. That is, whenever the rise in the income levels, that whatever the changes takes place, that will be less than the changes in the income. That is, the income elasticity of demand is less than 1. That is, the curve is somewhat steeper. See, in D3 the curve is somewhat steeper. Generally, the demand for grains comes under this have this income elasticity. Fourth one is zero income elasticity. Zero income elasticity means EY is equals to 0. That is denoted with the graph D4 curve. The demand curve D4 represents the zero income elasticity. That is, when the income elasticity is changes in any direction, either increases or decreases income of a consumer, then it carries no effect on the demand. That is, income of the consumer increases or decreases, there will be no change in the demand of the product, means that is zero income elasticity. Generally Generally, it is a vertical line shown in the graph as D4. Generally, whatever the income rises or decreases, there will be obviously no effect on some goods like general consumption goods, like neutral goods like sugars, salt. Whatever the income the consumer gets, the demand for the product does not change, isn't it? So the last one is D5. D5 curve shows the negative income elasticity of demand. That is, EY is less than zero here. That is, whenever there is an increase or decrease in the demand of the commodity, um, with an increase in the income causes a decrease in the demand of the commodity of the product. So here the demand is said to be negatively income elastic. That is, it is a downward sloping like D5. Generally, inferior goods like cereals, bajra, jowar, all these have this income elasticity. Here, that is, when an increase in income causes a decrease in the demand of the particular product. So here, these are the 5 different types of income elasticities of demand. Here also we are telling about the changes in the quantity demanded with respect to the changes in the income of the consumer. Hence, it is called as income elasticity of demand. So previously, we have discussed about the changes in the quantity demanded with respect to the changes in the prices. Hence, that is price elasticity of demand. And the third type is, see, coming to the third type, cross elasticity of demand. Cross represents here, that is, prices of the related goods. Related goods means what? We have already discussed about the related goods. That is, either substitute goods or complementary goods are called as related goods. Substitute goods means what? Tea, coffee are the examples for substitute goods. Complementary goods means whenever if you want to make a coffee, we need some other complementary agents like coffee, sugar, milk, all these are the complementary goods, right? So cross elasticity of demand. Cross elasticity of demand is defined as the degree of responsiveness of demand for a commodity to be given change in the prices of the related goods. That is, see here, clearly the definition is given in the formula. Proportionate or percentage change in demand of X by percentage or proportionate change in price of Y. Say, for example, 2 products are there, X, Y. Say, for example, price of good X increases means demand prices of the demand for Y gets increases. That is, price of X increases means demand for X decreases, demand for Y increases. So maybe it is unrelated or related goods. That is a secondary case. So here the cross elasticity of demand is denoted with EC or EXY. This is not by here, or just recorrect it, ma. So EC or EXY equals to delta QX by QX by delta PY by PY. When the product, then when the formula got simplification, we get like this: delta QX by delta PY into PY by QX. What is the change between this cross elasticity and price elasticity of demand? Their price elasticity of demand is set with only X product only. Here in cross elasticity of demand, we are taking 2 products, that is X and Y. Price of X with respect to demand of Y we are telling. Okay, where all these are the substitute for the formula. So generally the income elasticity of demand, cross elasticity of demand can be explained for 3 products, that is substitute products, complementary products and unrelated goods. Generally for substitute products like tea, coffee, or if you want to drink Fanta, if Fanta is not available, what you'll go for the same flavor? Which product will you go for? Same flavor? That is, we'll opt for Mirinda, isn't it? Fanta and Mirinda will be the substitute goods, like as similar to tea or coffee. For substitute goods, the demand curve is an upward slope where cross elasticity of demand is greater than 0. Whereas for complementary goods like car, petrol, pen, ink, these are the complementary goods. For the complementary goods, the slope is a downward sloping one where the cross elasticity of demand is less than 0. Whereas there are some unrelated products or the neutral products like sugar, salt, where the cross elasticity of demand is always 0. So, are you clear? So, cross elasticity of demand means percentage change in prices of quantity demanded of product X by percentage change in price of Y. So, next one is advertising or fourth one is advertising or promotional elasticity of demand. So in the same way, it can also be defined. That is the percentage change in demand of a product by percentage change in advertising or promotional efforts, promotional cost. That is whatever the expenditure incurred on advertisements can be measured with respect to the demand of a particular product. So that is as we have already denoted this with A in our demand function, that is EA equals to delta Q by Q by delta A by A. When it got simplification, EA equals to delta Q by delta A into A by Q. So here EA represents advertising elasticity of demand, delta Q represents quantity changes in the quantity demanded, delta E changes in the advertisement cost. A means initial advertising cost, Q means initial quantity. So this is the formula. When there are some conditions here, when EA value is 0, then the sales does not affect the advertisement expenditure. When this elasticity of demand, advertising elasticity of demand is less than 1, means it is said to be positive. That is whenever the increase in sales is less than the increase in the advertisement expenditure. So whenever this EA value is unit, that is unitary 1, that is increase in the sales is equals to the increase in the whatever the percentage increase in sales, that will be equal to the percentage change in the advertisement expenditure. In the same way, when EA value is greater than 1, then the increase in the sales is more when compared to the increase in the advertisement expenditure. So these are the other 3 types of elasticities of demand. So altogether we have seen the four types of elasticities of demand: price elasticities of demand, income elasticity of demand, cross elasticity of demand, and advertising elasticities of demand. Hope you have understood the basic concepts of elasticities of demand. So price elasticity of demand is generally asked for your essay question. So the rest 3, cross, income, and the advertising elasticities of demand, are asked for short answer questions. So if you have any doubts, please do comment in the comment section. Thank you.